Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to ModGolf Live. I'm Colin Weston, your host, and I'm back after 2 weeks. Last week, we took a bit of a sabbatical because I was traveling. I was doing the PGA show thing in Orlando, which I do every January. It's where 40,000 golf professionals descend upon Orlando, and to see everything that's going on in the golf industry. What's going to lay out before us for the year to come. So I had that and some other interesting things that I'll talk about also as we get started. So today, my guest, who I'll bring on in a minute or two here, is Matt Gettig. And Matt is really, I love Matt. Matt, I've met on LinkedIn, about a year or so ago. And he does some really great things in the mini golf space and that community leading, kind of that community giving back piece that he does. So Matt is the founder of Lightning MiniGolf, and he's the creator of this. And what he does in his hometown of Fort Collins, Colorado, city of about 150,000 people. He did this during COVID. Started there, just giving back. His background, my understanding, is landscape, irrigation, all these great things. Bring together the things that he knows to give back during COVID so that people can get together in a safe way. And that's to start to build these public mini golf holes, basically courses in people's right by the sidewalks, by the curb, all around the neighborhoods and expanding. So he's doing some awesome things. And the content he creates, especially on LinkedIn, I guess also on other social media platforms also, not only are super fun, but really show how he's giving back and using this as a platform for good, for the donations for causes that he is raising locally. So because you can play mini golf for free. So it's awesome stuff. Going to bring Matt on in just a moment, as I mentioned, but I'm going to start here with what I always open with, and that's my Monday morning musings, the things that I've seen go on, I've experienced the last week. In this case here, you're going to get an expanded version because it's going to be the last 2 weeks, a fortnight, as our English friends like to say. Everything that I've been doing there. Before we do get started with that, I want to thank you for joining us. This is a live and interactive show, so we've got a couple people that have joined us already. One thing I want to encourage you is when we get going here and you see Matt, start asking some questions. Don't be shy. Like I said, I will then give you part of your 15 minutes of fame here. I will put your questions up there just like I have done here on our YouTube channel. Introducing myself, here from beautiful snowy Vancouver today. Not going to be golfing today, at least not outdoors. Although if I get Matt here, I've seen some videos. Maybe I can get his snow shovel and he can shovel some sidewalks so we can play some golf because he's a good shoveler. I've seen him in action here. So, hey, why don't you mention where you're joining us from? Tell us who you are and let's start that conversation. Let's get that going. Okay, so as I mentioned, the last couple of weeks have been a bit of a whirlwind for me, and that started off at the PGA show, as I mentioned, which happens course of 4 or 5 days at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando. And like I said, it is massive what's going on. And I've had the good opportunity the last couple of years since COVID, it's 3-4 years in a row now, that as part of their live media show stage, I've had a chance to interview some awesome entrepreneurs, some people I've known for a while now, including Tim Wright, who's the founder of Caliber Golf, with him, and then a gentleman that I just met like an hour before I brought him on, and that's Richard Platt, and he's the CEO of Rymic Golf and what they're doing with testing ball compression. You think, well, that's, is that really adding value to the golf industry? But once you actually listen to that podcast episode, which I'm going to be releasing later today, and also watching the YouTube video that we're going to be posting later this week, you will see the answer is unequivocally yes. It makes a massive difference, not just for high-level players, but also for the average mid-handicappers like myself. It's astounding the data that he has and what he actually showed us during that interview. So yeah, out of the show there, like I said, I shot lots of video, going to be releasing some short clips both on YouTube and also on Instagram with ModGolf of some of the awesome things that I saw there, some of the innovations and products that are new. So stay tuned for those over the next week or so. And like I mentioned, later today, I'm going to be dropping the first episode, the part 1. I did 4 interviews of 4 awesome, diverse entrepreneurs at the show. So the first two will be released in our final episode of season 16 of ModGolf on the podcast, and that is going to be today. So that is with Tim Wright, as I mentioned, and also Richard Platt. And then I'm going to be releasing in a few weeks' time when we launch season 17, our next dozen episodes that will open with part 2 of that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, hey, we managed to break the 1,000 subscribers barrier. So thank you all for that, because that unlocks some other aspects and then things that we have access to now on YouTube. So I appreciate that. Let's keep going. If you enjoy what you're seeing here and the conversations we're having, hey, yeah, keep it going here. And yeah, subscribe to ModGolf YouTube channel and give us a little thumbs up here if you like what we're doing. After you see Matt, you're going to have 2 thumbs up, believe me, and a big smile on your face today. Last thing I'm going to mention before I bring Matt on here is also, pull myself over. I had the opportunity to go down, because I was in Florida for 11 days, as I mentioned. So I drove across the state, to Jupiter, Florida, and that's just north of Miami. And that is where Tiger and Rory with TGL, they had match number 4 where Rory and Tiger were playing each other for the first time. And I had the opportunity, I just put a note there. I knew a couple of people, asked for media credentials. They said yes. So I made my way down there. So if you've been following ModGolf on LinkedIn and also on our other social media feeds there too, especially Instagram and even here on YouTube, one thing you'll see is I was in the media room there doing my best to be a golf journalist. And I had the opportunity to ask Tiger Woods a question about entrepreneurship and the value of the teams that they're building. And yeah, Tiger responded. So a bit of a surreal moment for me. So you just never know in life. You just got to ask, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm sure as Matt's going to come on here and talk about all this, is the worst thing that's going to happen is someone's going to say either no or not quite yet. So had that opportunity where they said, yes, got my media credentials and made the effort and just showed up, and good things started to unfold. And I've noticed that's kind of the way life works. Sometimes showing up is the biggest thing. And with that, let's start for the main attraction here, and that is to bring on Matt, also known as Matt Lightning. And here we go. So there he is. Matt, welcome to ModGolf Live. How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks, Colin, for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So, Matt, why don't you let us know? You got a beautiful backdrop. It looks like you got a nice sunny day there, not getting snowed on for a change in Colorado. So yes, why don't we start here, Matt? Why don't you tell us a bit about your background and what led you to start that formation of the why for Lightning MiniGolf in Fort Collins?
All right. Again, thanks, Colin. I appreciate it. I'm Matt Lightning, and you know what inspired Lightning MiniGolf? One, I have a background in landscaping. I've been doing it my whole life, so I do know how to contour dirt. But during that small little COVID thing that we went through, I just noticed people were walking around aimlessly with not a lot to do. And I happened to be cleaning out my yard one day and ran across a piece of AstroTurf. And, you know, it really was just kind of a little joke. Me and my kid were like, you know, we should just build a mini golf hole off the sidewalk for people to play for free since they're walking around. And so, you know, we had a little spot in our yard, and we took that piece of AstroTurf and we built this mini golf hole, and we just used recycled materials, just what was laying around, rocks and whatever. Next thing you know, man, it turned out fabulous. It was like God said. It was just the perfect place for the hole, and all worked out. But then there's a line of people in my driveway every day playing mini golf, right? I would just leave the clubs and balls there. And so it inspired me not only to see the joy I was bringing to the community, I was meeting neighbors I had never met before, meeting their grandkids, seeing the grandparents playing mini golf with the grandkids. So it inspired me to keep building them and finding areas off people's sidewalks that need a little landscape tune-up. And so it kind of went hand in hand. And that's what created it. Now that creation has just led me to unbelievable things in life and community involvement. And ever since this has happened, my life has just turned around and been a 180 because of it.
Wow.
And
Well,
that's kind of the story.
I love it.
And
I love it.
I'm up to like a certain amount of holes, but in this area, I'm trying to get an 18-hole mini golf course. I actually have 12 of them built. And a lot of people want them, Colin, believe me, everybody wants one, but I talk most people out of it because you got to realize people are playing mini golf in your front yard, right?
Yes.
And so they're like, yeah, right here. And I'm like, no. It's right out your front door. So, I'm actually looking for certain locations, and but it's coming soon. There'll be a total of 18. Right now I got 12 though. And I do have them in other neighborhoods and stuff like that. 3 other states have taken over. So I interact with people, building them online and creating just interactive experiences, art for community involvement.
Love this. Love this. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I am going to bring up your LinkedIn profile here because I've got a video already queued up. But after I show this, and we'll show your website, but even better, you're going to turn your camera around and you're going to, because you do these POVs where you play a hole. Do you have, and you do such fun stuff too. We're going to show in a second, but you also have, I don't know if I can find the videos. You've got a couple of players that you play against. You've got red and you've got blue, these little guys that usually kick your butt. So do you happen to have red or blue with you today?
I could pull them out too. They're right there.
Well, maybe we'll pull that out in a second.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So why don't we start with this?
Okay.
Like I said, I'm going to go to your feed here, and I'm going to play this so people can see. This is obviously, I think this is a couple of days ago.
Yeah. Woo! Last time I took a beating like this, when my mama threw a banana and my pants turned a monkey loose. I said, banana!
Nice shot, by the way.
Boom! You know what? What
I can keep showing
is how many times I shoot that ball before it goes in the hole. And I don't put that on there, but there's 20 or 30 tries that don't make it on the video. And so when I make it, that really is the excitement because I'm trying so many times to do it. So really, but thanks for sharing that. That's fantastic. But there it is. I keep the courses open all year long. I spend a little time just to maintain them. It's little oases where people are walking around in the middle of winter, and all of a sudden you can play mini golf. And I like keeping them open and spending the time to do the snow removal and maintenance on them too.
Nice. Well, we've got people that have joined us here, and people are sharing some love. And I think you will know this particular individual here, Matt. Hopefully you can see that. So it sounds like it's your nephew from Kansas City.
Oh, really?
Is checking in and sharing the love here. So he's joining us from here. If you want to ask Uncle Matt a question, you know what? I'll throw it up here. So keep it going. Let's keep it going here.
Right on.
All right. So one thing I did want to mention here. Here, why don't I pull up here? Here we go. So with Lightning MiniGolf, there's the website. And on that note, why don't I, before we have you do a demo here, if you're up for this, if you're able, obviously you're very good at holding your camera and playing mini golf at the same time. So I have a feeling
one thing is I may not be able to see it because I'll have the camera pointed at the ball, but I am good at it, Colin. I'll get it on there for you. I'll get you a beauty of a hole-in-one.
Nice. So before we do that, let's just do this, Matt. Why don't we pull up your website here so everybody can see that. So yeah, with Lightning MiniGolf here. So tell us a little bit about this. Obviously, you've got some nice reviews here. Here's where you're located in Fort Collins with the courses here and behind. So you talk about the fundraising piece. So why don't we talk about that and donation? So the fact you've got some social impact and you're creating this groundswell, grassroots or turf roots, maybe in your case here, because you're using synthetic turf, pardon the pun, that you're creating mini golf for good. So tell us a little bit about that. Is as this grows, the connectivity and what who do you support with the donations that you raise with people playing mini golf on your courses?
Okay, thank you. Not only does any donation go to support Lightning MiniGolf, but we take part of those proceeds. And right now, I'm a big supporter of a place called Animal Friends Alliance. It's a no-kill shelter here in Fort Collins, and I support them a lot. And not only that, but they come and they hold fundraising tournaments. So I kind of MC the whole thing, and we get everybody together, and it's like a big dog parade or cats, and everybody dresses up, and we have tournaments, and all that goes to help fund them. And we do any good impact through the community like that. We do high schools for wrestling, and so I hold all these events too. But again, you can go to the website and you can donate. Anything you donate goes to keeping the courses open and safe, but also proceeds go to good causes in the community too.
Love it, love it. Okay, before I ask my next question here, seems like your nephew is stepping in here. So he wants to know, how long did it take to make the back-to-back? I don't even know what that refers to. You know what that refers to?
Excuse me. I do have a video out there that I put. It went viral. I've never had a video go viral before, Colin. So this one goes, right? It's getting 200,000 views an hour, right?
What?
And what it is a back-to-back hole-in-one. It's on the exact same course that you just presented. The one I did the snow removal on. It looks like number 9. So I shot it, and that one I actually videoed, and I have every miss. I probably missed 30 times, and it's cold and it's freezing. Anyway, I was getting frustrated. I'm getting down there, and I smacked the ball, and I go back and forth, picking it up as fast as I can, recording if it doesn't go in the hole. So I run over there, and it hits this little piece of wood, and the ball banks off, and it goes rolling, and I step over the ball just to adjust that piece of wood so it can't happen again. And I turn around, and the ball is in the hole. Somehow it went right under my legs, and it went in the hole. And I go, well, that's weird. So I pick it up, I turn around for my last shot, and I hit it, and it went around, and it went in the hole, and I got kind of 2 and 1. But they're 2 really cool shots, and so
nice.
It was really neat. So I think
okay. Now it's time for the main event here. Since you offered to do it, I'm going to give you the screen and the floor here. Why don't you transition yourself? Take your camera, grab a putter, grab a ball, and play a couple of holes.
I'll do the best I can here. All right, I'll see.
Do your thing.
I kind of come back here, and you can see you can grab your balls and clubs. And remember, we got the big Super Bowl coming up between the Eagles and the Chiefs, and I will shoot that. Maybe we could do that live too sometime. But for now, I'm gonna just come up, grab a ball and a club, right? And now here we go. Let's see if we can get this. And here's how I do it, Colin. Grab it, I put the ball down. All right, here we go. This is the original course. This is it, the very first one. Hole-in-one for Colin. Oh! Don't make me nervous, Colin.
Is that white staked? Are you out of bounds there?
Out of bounds. Now I'm going back.
Are you 3 off the tee?
Here, I'm going right off. Mulligan. All right, here it goes. Here it goes.
There it is.
It's going in. There it goes. Oh.
Oh, you missed the tap in. Oh, that's trouble now.
Yeah. So, all right. So, there's the course. I don't think you want me to keep shooting if I keep missing.
Well, it's okay. So it is a bit of an extra challenge there. So why don't you turn the camera around? How many holes do you have built there?
Here, I'll show you. Right here, there's the original one.
Yes.
And then I have, the Speedway one, which this was the second one. I'll throw a ball down there. Maybe it'll go in. And the ball's kind of up there. And then, if you can see it, there is a lightning bolt one right in the neighbor's yard. Yeah. So you got the lightning bolt course. We'll throw one right down the pipe. Come on. So they are challenging. Yeah, and this one actually, spits it out like you.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, folks, there it is.
So you got 3 holes. Okay, so as you head back, why don't you walk us through the creation of the very first one? So did you sketch this up? Did you just tell us about the design process and how you went from not having a hole to building the first one? What worked, what didn't, and just tell us about the experience of building the first hole.
All right, can you see that, Colin?
Yes.
All right, so you can see the very first little hump. This started out because I turned around and I wanted to build something. My kid had some skateboard ramps that I built for him, and they kind of just had these little things. So I built them out of wood, and that's kind of what led into it. Then the pit right here. I don't know if you can notice, but you walk down in this big hole right here.
Yes, yes.
And you know what happened there? The city ground out a big tree right here and left me a big hole in my yard, right? So that hole I made part of the course. And so the inspiration behind the design, I guess you could say, was skateboard ramps. And there was a hole in my yard. So I incorporated them and then just put all this rock around it. Ever since then, though, Colin, the skateboard ramps have disintegrated. So I left the original design, tore it apart, and now these are just mounds of dirt. They're not wood anymore under it. So you kind of got to keep refurbishing them. Because free mini golf, it does take a beating. But I found out you can't do that under it. So really, I just packed the dirt down. I can't believe how well it works, too. I mean, that's just dirt under it, So
got it.
I'm finding all kinds of creative ways to build mini golf that's not invasive to the earth either.
Yes.
You don't have to do all these crazy things to put AstroTurf down. I am a certified AstroTurf installer, so I do know how to install it.
So it's my understanding that you do your best to use either recycled or reclaimed materials, if not 100%. So that seems to be a real kind of pillar in your values of what you do here. You want to use materials that otherwise would end up in a landfill, right?
That's correct. Trying to mini golf should be an immersive artistic experience. It's just not a game. And so I'm finding a lot of things that people think are trash. I can use them as a sustainable material. But everything that you see on these courses was recycled, all this AstroTurf. And I must say, on some of the more professional mini golf that I build, I still use recycled turf, but it's like a putting green surface that comes actually with a lifetime warranty, but you're paying fraction of it. And I like to keep that in the theme of Lightning MiniGolf as we try and keep all courses recycled, reclaimed, and create some art out of it that people play.
Nice. So tell us about the name with Lightning MiniGolf. Of course, I know that Lightning is not your last name. So tell us about the reference there. I see you got the Lightning Bolt course, the hole on your neighbor's property. So tell us about the name.
Yeah, Colin, you might just get a kick out of this because I've never told this story much of how it came about. It was a podcast I was on before Lightning MiniGolf or even Matt Lightning was born. And it was a buddy of mine, Joe, and he's still my number one dude. He's not a podcaster anymore, but he was messing around with it. And he goes one day, I started a podcast and I'm going to be Dr. Joe Thunder, right? And I said, right on. Anyway, my wife is in the background listening and she goes, you could be Matt Lightning and be his first guest, right? And I go, oh, that would be great. So now I become Matt Lightning for some reason. The podcast never even took place, but it was a few months later that the mini golf got started. And I just thought, I'm Matt Lightning now. And I go, what a cliche. Like, nobody played mini golf in the Lightning Storm. So I go, what about Lightning Mini Golf? And I was kind of into lightening them up. at night with solar LED lights. And I thought, it might work. And really, that's how the name caught on and how I got my name.
Love it, love it. Well, if you
Thanks.
decided to have a third career in pro wrestling, you already have your name as your wrestling name there too.
I could probably go with the smaller mini wrestler guys. I don't know if I could wrestle the big guys.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. Matt Lightning, I'm pretty quick.
So I'm curious to hear as far as the community and also the city, the municipality with, I don't know, in Colorado and in Fort Collins, if it's like Vancouver, they're, how can I put it politely here? They may frown upon building things like this, even though it's all about fun and building community. So tell us about that. The first one that you built,
Sure.
Did you have a bylaw official coming by and say, no, you can't do this? Did you have to apply for a permit, or how have they embraced you over time to build even more of these without anybody getting upset about this, thinking that it's problematic building these for the public to use?
Yeah, great question. What it is most of these courses too are built on what I call little hell strips that the city owns them.
Yes.
Well, the city also makes you maintain them, water them, or keep the beautification of this area. And a lot of people don't like to do it for some reason. So the city, since I'm going through and I'm putting like AstroTurf, I'm getting better at it. Believe it or not, some of these have been beautified, but the city now they know all about it. They know the involvement of it, but they also know the impact that it has and the fun it has created. So they're all on board. They've called me and they have questions about the clubs and balls just sitting there because they're real balls. They're real clubs. Well, you bash out the windshield. Well, you could pick up a stick and bash out the windshield. So what I find is community involvement involves it's everybody's. And this is why I get more, I would say, people demoing stuff or stealing anything. I get people interacting and giving. And that's what it is. I show up, I get rolls of AstroTurf, and I get balls and clubs just donated to keep the fun going. So nobody is doing any harm at this point. So the city's on board. And in fact, Colin, I got a meeting right after this with the city of Fort Collins. I got to sit down in front of the whole board, put on the suit and tie. It's not Matt Lightning style. I might wear this as my tie. And it is for the building of the City Park Mini Golf Course 9 up by the City Park Golf Course. So I'm very excited. They want me to landscape the whole area and incorporate a professional mini golf. So this is a huge a huge meeting for me. But it also, I guess, is saying how the city of Fort Collins is behind Lightning MiniGolf. So I thank the city too.
I love this. So what you've built here, it seems set up beautifully for having events or leagues or tournaments or celebrations. Is that something that you're looking to do even more in 2025? And have you done that in the past where you've used it as even as a street party or a block party? So tell us about that, how you're bringing community together and are you having events and the Lightning Open perhaps?
Yes. And man, is it going to be an exciting year. We have, it was a slow start to having tournaments. People have their own tournaments, but this is leading into much, much bigger events like block parties. The city is willing to even fund it, have the bands and raise money for good causes and give away great prizes for winners of mini golf. Get bigger and bigger celebrities in here one day. I got a lot of TV and radio stations wanting to get involved this year. So this is going to be huge. This is going to be great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell you love designing courses. You're a super creative guy. As you progress and you build bigger or more elaborate holes, what is on the drawing board or in that beautiful mind of yours already? Was it whether lights or sound or multi-sensory experience or more dinosaurs or more UFOs? What's going on in that brain of yours? Can you tease us with maybe the next couple of holes that you're looking to design that are on the boards and in your brain right now?
Yes. And again, thank you, Colin, for all that. The big one, the city of Fort Collins one, it's nothing fancy, but I am going to light it up. And the big thing of Lightning MiniGolf is I do think the artisticness behind it and lighting it up for some evening time play. That's that. But man, I got this thing up at the Wyoming-Colorado border called the Terry Bison Ranch going on.
Okay.
Now they're letting me go to town, and it's like Lightning MiniGolf meets the Wild West. So not only professional mini golf, but anywhere from slingshot shooting range with golf balls to driving balls right off the highway. So you can see these glow balls flying. They now have gambling up there. So Lightning MiniGolf is really going to take off up there. Theme wise, it's kind of Western, but I want to do a lot of like Tombstone.
Right.
I want to do a lot of, just the Wild West kind of. You walk into that kind of thing. But not only that, they're allowing me to do a 9-hole in that area and then a 9-hole adventure one where you get like a map and you have to go find the holes, and they're way down in these trees and creek areas. And like Lightning MiniGolf, 1 hole here, 1 hole here. And they want to light that whole thing up with like windmills and stuff like that powered. So I'm very, very excited about this project.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering
again,
now
all
that
recycled stuff, all recycled.
So good. So
Yeah.
good. So now that you're in the neighborhood, and of course you've got your neighbor with the lightning hole and some other people, do you have people in the community reaching out to you? Is like, hey, Matt, can you build a hole on my front lawn? Are you getting that a lot?
Yes. And that's the one where I have to almost deny them, Colin, because it's not the right location.
Right.
I know their heart's in the right place and they want to do community outreach, but I'm like, no, people are playing golf in the evening and, it gets busy. So I find like certain lots, corner lots. And once those are established, then, we kind of design it, maybe what they're around, bicycles, whatever. I kind of go with that. But most of the time they just let me go with it. But I do have some restaurants that are interested in theming holes and starting to get involved with this too. So that could get exciting where you get some of that involvement down into that industry too.
Fun. So as we finish up here, why don't you share a couple of stories here? Maybe one along the line of maybe some little kids that have never had access to golf, never had a club in their hand before, and putting a ball on a Lightning MiniGolf hole is their first experience. And perhaps they get a hole in one or they putt out. So tell us about the impact you've had on kids, that this is their gateway or their first golf experience that has lit them up.
That's right. It's amazing. There is one little boy in particular. Lightning MiniGolf's probably been going, for 4 or 5 years probably. Anyway, he came out. He was like 2 years old. I didn't really have the club for him, so I kind of broke one and made this teeny little club for him so he could hold it. He's like 2 years old. Anyway, his grandpa was there. And so I was talking to him, and he could barely shoot the ball, but he was trying. Anyway, they still come today, every day. And that kid is now like 6 years old, right? And he can putt the ball better than anybody I know.
Love it.
And he brings his own little club, and I get his own little T-shirt. And now his grandpa plays constantly. And that story just inspires me of what maybe one day that kid could be. Another story where there was a homeless family. Well, it was just his mom and him. Anyway, they actually joined one of the tournaments I was having. I let him just join in, and he took second place in it, and I gave him a trophy. He'd never been happier. He donated a bunch of plants and cucumbers that he planted and seeded and gave them. And then they moved on. I don't know what happened to that couple, but it was very inspiring to know that maybe one day that kid could be the next Tiger Woods,
Love this. All right. So I can keep going for another hour here, but hey, why don't we...
I don't know if I even told anything right.
The fact you actually had the course right behind you, that was an added bonus today here, Matt, that you had the ability and were willing to do that to show us firsthand the course here. So, hey, as we finish up here, Want to say thank you to everybody that's asked some questions here. Your nephew, who goes by the moniker of J7 on YouTube. Hey J7, thanks so much for asking some questions today. And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, if you like what Uncle Matt is doing here, we want to have the Uncle Matts of the world on ModGolf Live every single Monday. You subscribing only helps spread the word and spread the love here. So as we finish up here, let me just pull it up again here. So for everybody that's watching, not only live here, but also afterwards, and we've now managed to get hundreds, if not in the thousands of views of these. So lots of people will amplify the message here and the reach of knowing about Lightning MiniGolf. So there you go. So there's the website. I'll just add once again, there it is there. So, hey, if you want to donate to the good causes that Matt supports through Lightning MiniGolf, it also helps to offset some of the costs, because I think right now you're doing this as your side hustle, labor of love, that if you're not careful here, it sounds like this may turn into an actual full-time business, which I'm kind of joking here, but I think that would be amazing, that if all of a sudden your side hustle became your the way you were able to support yourself and make a sustainable business out of this, with other cities reaching out to you, and then being able to do more of this. I know you have to then I don't know, invent a cloning machine so you can replicate yourself, or how you're going to do that. I'll leave that to you, to how you scale, or maybe you don't even want to. But ultimately, it sounds like you're onto something here, Matt.
Thanks, Colin. Man, I really appreciate it. It's good people like you in this world that help everybody like me. And so always continued success, Colin. If you don't really follow Colin a lot, I do say follow his channel. He's going places, and he's very, very entertaining too, and he's got good positive vibes for everybody. So thanks, Colin. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that, Matt. So there it is, Matt Lightning, CEO of Lightning MiniGolf. There we go, coming live from Fort Collins, Colorado. Matt, thanks for joining us today on ModGolf Live, my friend. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and talking to you. We're going to have you back on maybe another year or so to see the progression of where you are. How's that sound?
Sounds great, Colin. Cheers, brother.
All right. Have a great day, Matt. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. Have a great Monday. Bye for now.
Bye.
Why don't